For generations, African Americans have sought a Moses, one to lead them from the shackles of oppression. This is a community that has endured over 400 years of captivity, forced across oceans, made to serve, labor, and be subjected to unspeakable hatred and brutality institutionalized into every facet and structure of American society. We have witnessed the rise and fall of many leaders, visionaries who endeavored to liberate us, yet met the fate of martyrdom. Their legacies vary. Some are etched in our memories, while others who gave their lives are simply diminished or forgotten. Do African Americans need a leader? Why have we let the sacrifices of the leaders we've had fade into mere oblivion? Shadows of their true selves. Think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., often remembered only for his "I have a dream" speech, when in reality, he was a die-hard freedom fighter, a relentless warrior for freedom.
It is no wonder that in one of his sorrow songs, the Negro could sing out, "Sometimes I feel like a motherless child." What great estrangement, what great sense of rejection caused the people to emerge with such a metaphor as they looked over their lives. What I'm trying to get across is that our nation has constantly taken a positive step forward on the question of racial justice and racial equality. But over and over again, at the same time, made certain backward steps. This has been the persistence of the so-called white backlash. In 1863, the Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery. But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaning. And at that same period, America was giving millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that America was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor that would make it possible to grow and develop. It refused to give that economic floor to its black peasants, so to speak. This is why Frederick Douglass could say that emancipation for the Negro was freedom to hunger, freedom to the winds and rains of heaven, freedom without roofs to cover their heads. He went on to say that it was freedom without bread to eat, freedom without land to cultivate. It was freedom and famine at the same time. It does not stop there. In 1875, the nation passed the Civil Rights Bill, refused to enforce it. In 1964, the nation passed a weaker Civil Rights Bill. Even to this day, that bill has not been totally enforced in all of its dimensions.
Consider the Civil Rights Movement, a testament to our ancestors' struggles. Thousands upon thousands gave their lives so that you could have a chance at a better life than the ones they had to endure. Instead, today we stand by quietly as they make you the face of affirmative action. But the white community gets the wealth, the jobs, the contracts, the loans, the homes, and everything else, all in the name of the Civil Rights Movement. They have manipulated affirmative action and the Civil Rights Movement so much that they are the recipients and you are the scapegoats. We say we love and admire Malcolm X, and many more say his words still resonate today. We cry, nothing has changed, but we continue to allow our oppressors to send us to cast ballots and get nothing in return.
And I'm here to tell you, in case you don't know it, that you got a new generation of black people in this country who don't care anything whatsoever about ours. They don't want to hear you old Uncle Tom handkerchief heads talking about the ours. No. This is a new generation. If they're going to draft these young black men and send them over to Korea or South Vietnam to face 800 million Chinese, you're not afraid of those odds, you shouldn't be afraid of these odds. Why does this loom to be such an explosive political year? Because this is the year of politics. This is the year when all of the white politicians are going to come into the Negro community. You never see them until election time. You can't find them until election time. They're going to come in with false promises. And as they make these false promises, they're going to feed our frustrations. And this will only serve to make matters worse. I'm no politician. I'm not even a student of politics. I'm not a Republican, nor a Democrat, nor an American, and got sense enough to know it. I'm one of the 22 million black victims of the Democrats. One of the 22 million black victims of the Republicans, and one of the 22 million black victims of Americanism. And when I speak, I don't speak as a Democrat or a Republican, nor an American. I speak as a victim of America's so-called democracy. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it.
The African American reparations movement is not led by a single individual. It is coordinated by an organizer. We must all pull together and make sacrifices to lead ourselves collectively. Today, we as African Americans are facing an existential threat. Normalized white supremacy, political exploitation, continued systemic racism and oppression codified in law, in the court systems, and in governmental policies are the issues impacting us. What do you think will happen to us when affirmative action ends? We have very few companies. The vast majority of our companies are small businesses due to the government's manipulation of affirmative action and the Civil Rights Act. Without reparations, how will we employ our people? Where will we live? How will we live? Our focus must be on reparations before we focus on anything else as a people. With reparations, we can forge a future. Be that in America for those who wish to remain in this country, or the land of our forefathers for others. As we face white supremacy and systemic racism head-on once again, African Americans must stop looking for a single leader. We must become the leaders we seek. African Americans must learn how to each become a leader. We have to find our own inner courage in a very frightening time. We must each be our brother's keeper or we will perish as a people. We have to stop admiring the courage in other men and women, while we cower as we watch what little freedom we have disintegrate in front of us. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and share the video. It is imperative to the African American reparations movement. Also subscribe for more videos about African and African diaspora geopolitics, politics, news, history and religion.